So, from my point of view as a volunteer for Dinger Disciples, this is just a great ministry for kids. It not only teaches you a little bit about baseball and softball, but it's an opportunity to share the gospel of Jesus Christ with all of these kids that come to this camp every year. And this year was their second year doing this, and last year they had probably about 350, maybe 400 kids register. And the guys who started this, man, Reece Meador and Cody Holt, they had no idea of where this was going. They just answered that calling that God put on their heart. And this year they doubled the amount of kids that were registered. So me and my wife Miranda, we just knew that we needed to get involved because it's a great ministry, and it's something that as long as the good Lord is blessing them to continue to do it, that we're gonna be forever volunteers. Um, a few things that I've seen as camp from a volunteer's perspective is they set time aside for small groups. They set time aside for sermons. They do field skills. They do fielding and hitting and stuff like that. So they do teach baseball and softball, but their main goal is to spread the gospel. And a few things that we did this year. I don't know if everybody probably knows this, but they're making a movie about this already. So that just shows how awesome our God is. And we we actually got to meet Superman at camp this year, so that was pretty cool. And I know for uh, experience or from perspective as a dad, last year was our son Carter's first year doing this. And if anybody knows him, you know that there's probably a handful of people that he is really attached to. And the first couple of days of the camp last year, he wouldn't let my wife leave the camp until he found Reece, and he hung out with Reece all day. So the way that these two guys pour into these kids and just show them what it is to be a Christ follower and to know Jesus, I think it's just an awesome experience. I think it's an awesome ministry, and I think it's something that if you're able to reach out and volunteer. I know that this weekend they have a special needs camp coming up over here in Waco, and um, even after the floods last year, they went down to Kerrville and put on a weekend camp for them, just so they could have somebody to talk to, so they could hear the gospel, so they could have a little bit of hope and a little bit of a peace. And they're going back to do that this year. And yeah, like I said, it's a great ministry. It's a great way to spread the gospel, and you learn a little bit about baseball and softball. They have Jeff Bradburn as their pastor there, and anybody who knows Jeff Bradburn knows that he is just an awesome guy. The way that he pours into these kids as well is just it's amazing. And every single one of them, they take a liking to him. They sit down, they listen to his sermons, and I believe between the last couple of years of these camps, they've they've had roughly 100 baptisms on the last day of these camps. So that's exactly uh, what this camp is doing. It's spreading the gospel. It's going out making disciples. And with this China Spring community, China Spring is a big baseball community, and I think this is a great way for not only kids but kids' parents to get involved with a ministry that does good and does have kids' best interests at heart. And I think it's just a great ministry. And like I said before, my wife and I are going to be forever volunteers as long as the good Lord blesses them to keep doing this.